What is up, Galaxians? Welcome to another episode of Galaxy CDs, Rocks, and Flips. If this is your first time coming across the channel, my name is Ryan, and I am a full-time reseller working out of my home here in the greater Cincinnati area. And this channel, it's all about the flip life. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in my little corner of the reselling galaxy. I'll share with you the things I've sold, the things I'm doing, kind of what's going on here at the galaxy. Today's video is just going to be a maybe not quite so quick what's sold video. It's been about a week since I did any kind of what's sold recap, so I've got about a dozen items today that I'm going to show you. But before I get into that, if you are local here to the Cincinnati, Hamilton, Dayton area, and you're watching this video before Saturday, July 25th, mark it on your calendar. I'll put a link in the description below, but I'm going to be having an overstock book sale here at the homestead. The pile of books behind me, there's another one in the garage that's probably twice the size of that, and I need to move some of these out of the way so I can continue to bring in more new stuff. So I'm going to have a one-day kind of book blowout sale. Literally, as you can see from the pile, hundreds of mostly hardcover books, ranging from business and finance to self-help to health and exercise, gardening, home improvement, history, fiction, and more. Everything's $1. Not going to mess around trying to get $3-4 out of these. $1 a piece, as many as you can box up and haul away. So if you're a book lover, definitely mark it on your calendar. There will be a small selection as well of DVDs, maybe a handful of CDs, a couple of old video games, but mostly it's going to be about the books. So mark it on your calendar, Saturday, July 25th, here in Hamilton, in my driveway, here at the homestead. Literally hundreds of books, $1 each. So with that, let's get into what's sold here in the last week. Speaking of books, this first thing is a set of paperbacks. It's a box set. It was sealed. Nancy Drew Diaries from 2013. Had 4 books in it. I picked this up at a garage sale, gosh, maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago for $1 thin, and put this up for $16.99 with free shipping. Sold it finally this week, so not a terrible little flip. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know I'm all about this model railroading stuff. I picked up another book at an estate sale, one of the vintage books that was put out by Lionel back in the 50s. This is the 3rd printing of their book called Model Railroading from 1951. It was in pretty mediocre condition. The cover was actually starting to separate from the rest of the book. Paperback books, if you've ever looked there, the pages are kind of bound together and then glued to the spine. There were a couple of sections of those that had started to pull loose, but this is such a rare book to find that I went ahead and put it up for $17.99 with free shipping. I think I've got $1 in this one. I put up a ton of pictures, and as you can kind of see in the description, I wasn't hiding anything. It was in pretty rough shape, but it's still a real nice collector's item for somebody who is into model railroading, and there are some of those guys who are trying to collect all of these books because there was a whole series of them back in the 50s, and somebody snapped it up for $17.99. This next item was a part of the lot. You may remember I did an estate sale where the seller said if I could haul all the books away, I could have them. It was a huge lot of mostly business and economics books. The guy, I don't know if he was an economist or what his job was, but he had tons of these old books like this one, The Great Crash, 1929, by the famed economist John Kenneth Galbraith. This was an original kind of first printing, and I had it listed for, I believe, $29.99 plus shipping. I got an offer of $20. I countered at $22, and it is on its way to its new owner. If you watched my haul video a couple of weeks ago, you may remember this little guy, a vintage Microsoft IntelliMouse with the old PS2 style connection. I got this new in a box at a yard sale. If my memory serves me right, it was marked $3 and I got it for $2. Sold it for $14.44. This is an item that I send an offer out on probably twice a week. I will go into my listings and you have the send offer eligible tab. And at any given moment, I've got anywhere from 200 to 300 items in there. And I'll send out 15 or 20 offers on various items that I just look like they've got some activity, but nobody's made an offer on. This is one of those. I sent out an offer of 15% off its original price. It was still plus shipping. So I made roughly 7 times my money on that. So we'll take that. This next item is a book on stamps. I picked this up at an estate sale just last week for 50 cents. Had it listed, I think, for $27.99 plus shipping. I got an offer for $24.50. That was a reasonable offer. I went ahead and took it. Interesting book. This was a later reprint of a series of books called, I think, the Lynn's United States Stamps Collection. This covered all the U.S. stamps that were made between 1922 and 1926. The book was in really, really good shape. There weren't a lot of them out there, so it was kind of an unusual thing probably to buy a book on stamp collecting. But again, anything that refers to collectibles or collections, there is a really passionate minority of people that are interested in those things, and they will pay up for some of this stuff, especially if it's in good shape. You remember, easy for me to say, you may remember, there we go, last week I picked up this Dell laptop and a bag. I had $7 in the laptop and $1 in the bag, so I'm $8 all in. I put it up at an auction, almost immediately got the minimum bid of $24.99, and then it was crickets. No other activity on it. A couple people started watching it, but nobody else bid. So $24.99 plus shipping for the laptop and the bag. Made about 3 times my money before fees, so I didn't lose any money on it, but it wasn't a great buy. I don't know that I'll buy another laptop, especially an older one like this. XP, it did power up and it appeared to run okay, but there's only so much I can do to test them. I'm not, despite the fact that I worked for a brief time for Microsoft's retail, I'm not a tech wizard by any stretch of the imagination. So $25, I didn't lose anything, made a couple of bucks. It'll be on its way. Actually, that won't go out of here until Monday with the holiday. So America's Greatest Depression. This is the second book on the Depression era that I sold from that same sale. So this is another one at $25 with free shipping that I don't have even a dime in other than the gas going to Dayton to pick up that collection. I think in the last What Sold video, I also had a couple of items from that lot. So I've already made a fairly decent amount of money on that free book pickup. This was, I think, the only one of these listed on eBay. There were some comps over the last year that were in the $23 to $30 range. I had this listed for $29.99. I got a best offer of $25, and on its way it went. You may remember, if you've been watching any of my videos, gosh, it's probably been 6 or 7 weeks ago, I picked up a big lot of Russian language learning and translation books. I sold a set of the kind of language flashcards a couple of weeks ago, and this week I sold the Russian Elementary Course Part 1. It was the 6th edition, was printed in Moscow, $27.99. I've got $1 in this, so really, really nice flip. A lot of folks don't want to mess with CDs. I actually may be doing a huge CD buy next week. If you're local here in kind of the Cincinnati, Hamilton area, there's a little record store that opened here in Hamilton, Main Street Vinyl. And I had stopped down there months ago and left them a note and said, hey, I know you specialize in vinyl, but you may get people who come in here from time to time that have CDs. Feel free to give them my name, my card. I'd be interested in looking at, kind of bulk purchase of CDs. And I didn't hear anything for months. This goes back, I probably dropped that note off in February. And out of the blue, I got a call on Thursday from the owner down there telling me that someone had just now given him that note. So, speedy communication there down at Main Street Vinyl. But in any event, he apparently has thousands of CDs in storage in the building next door to his store. And I'm going to go down there and take a look at them. And he said there's some new, some old, some sealed, a lot of open stock. He thinks there's a couple thousand there. So I may be back in the CD business in a kind of big time way here in the next week or so. In any event, back to the point of this item, or that item, I guess. This is a 8 CDs from the contemporary Christian band 1,000 Foot Crutch. I picked these up at a garage sale. I paid a little more for them than I normally do. I think I paid $1 a piece for these, which is normally way out of the range I'm trying to do. But because they're all 8 of them were there, I assumed I would be able to lot them up and sell them as a package for a decent amount of money. So I got $8 in it. I sold it for $31.99 with free shipping. It cost, I think, $3.86 to ship in a small, like 8x6x4 box. So really nice flip. CDs are pretty dicey if you can't get them super cheap. This big lot that I'm looking at next week, I'm probably going to be looking at 10 cents a disc or something like that. Anything more than that, it probably will be hard to justify. But it's something like this where you can get a collection of all the same band at a fairly reasonable price. You can turn them into a little bit of money. Now we're getting into some bigger scores. This is one that I picked up at an estate sale. I did a bulk buy right before the lockdown. I was at a sale up in the Dayton area, and they had hundreds of books. And as I was leaving the sale, I gave the guy my card, and I said, at the end of the sale, if you want to get rid of these books, I'll give you 10 cents a book, and I'll haul them all away. This book was in that lot. I had it listed for $69.99. There were none on eBay. As far as I know, at the time of sale, there were none of these available on eBay. Comps going back through Terapeak over the last year were in the kind of $50 to $75 range. So I was probably a little on the high end on my pricing. I haven't offered anybody a discount on this. I've been watching. It's had, at any given moment, anywhere from 8 to 10 watchers. So I was hesitant to give anybody a discount, thinking I could get full pop for it. As it worked out, I had a guy that finally made an offer on it this week. He offered me $50 with free shipping. I hit him back at $55 just for the heck of it. I'd have taken the 50 probably if he'd have said no. But he went ahead and accepted $55. I've got 10 cents in this. It cost me maybe $3.25 to ship, plus the fees. Very, very nice flip. Unusual old book, not like the stack back here, which are fairly common, and they're all selling kind of on eBay for $4 to $8 a piece. These are the kind that get you excited and make you want to get up and get working in the morning. So are these. So I was at a sale last week, and the place was just a wreck. I mean, there were just piles of stuff everywhere. It was really pretty chaotic. But stuck back in a closet down on the floor were these Bobbsey twin books from the 1930s. They were trying to get $3 each for these hardbacks. They were essentially selling for $3 a piece on eBay. But like the 1,000 Foot Crutch CD lot, I thought a group of 19 of these books might get some interest and do a little bit more. So I just told her, if you sell me the whole set, I'll do $1 a piece. I'll take $19 and I'll just take the whole thing. So I bought those and a couple other odds and ends. I threw these up at an auction same day, starting at $19.99 plus shipping. And again, almost immediately had a bid and got bids kind of throughout the week. This is one that did not explode at the end. This $50 final offer came in, about 2 days ago. So somebody maxed out at $50 and everybody else kind of fell off the wagon, as it were. But still, I got $19 in it. I'm going to get 50 plus media rate shipping. They're already in a box. All I got to do is seal it up and send it out. So very nice little flip. Again, I'm all about the old books. If you can get them cheap enough, I would have loved to have gotten these for 50 cents, but it was the first day of the estate sale. getting them for essentially a third the price they were asking was probably about as good as I could do that day. So, but I'll take that. This last thing, I will do this from time to time, and I'd be curious, let me know in comments if you ever do anything like this. I had a customer that inquired on 4 different years of the model railroad magazines that I sell, and he asked what I would do for all 4 sets. So rather than taking an offer on 4 different things and then having to combine shipping, what I did was, when I responded to him, I just created a custom listing, a brand new listing that detailed what items he was going to get and gave him a total price with the shipping included, just to make it nice and easy. What he was looking at was 4 years of the Railroad Model Craftsman magazine that I had priced at $27.99 plus shipping. Shipping on those was, I don't know, $6, something like that. So it was $34, give or take, per year. And he was looking at 4 years worth. So when I combined the shipping, I gave him $5 off per year on the magazines, bundled it all up, rounded off the pennies, and said $110 with shipping. It's yours. Here's a custom link. If you decide you want to do that, just buy that link and I'll delete those other magazine listings manually. Within 5 minutes, I had my money. So really nice sale. You may remember, if you've been playing along at home, I got 96 cents in a year's worth of these magazines. So I've got less than $4 in this lot and sold for 110. So very nice way to end the video. Thank you for stopping by and checking this out. If this is the kind of stuff you enjoy, please do me a favor and whack that thumbs up button. Feel free to subscribe and click the bell notification icon so that you get notified every time I do a new video. I'll have a couple more coming out next week on various things. Hope to get the podcast kicked off in the next few days, so keep a watch out for that. Remember the book sale, if you're a book lover, Saturday, July 25th. There'll be a link in the description below to details on that. With that, I'm going to call it a day. I hope you've had a great week reselling. And now, it's time to sell. Thanks, guys.